Welcome to Chapter 9 of Supersonic Sand. So myself and Sean are here to introduce our 9th collaborator. You just had Moby. We were just still reveling on the fact that we could get Moby to collaborate on a track, and now we are about to collaborate with one of Waterford's finest. We're bringing you a slightly different genre, which I think makes this extra exciting. We're giving you an artist who's part of an incredible collaborative collective that make incredible music, and I cannot wait to talk about what he's about to release and other works he's done recently enough. So Sean, how has your day been?
Well, all good now, all good, Rebecca, so far. And as you said, like Moby, it seems like a hard act to follow, but I think this guy that we're about to introduce, who's part of an amazing band that is going to be making amazing magic any day, literally any day. Could have been yesterday, could have been today, depends on when this interview is broadcast and when we release the resulting track. But delighted to be having this guy as one of our 12. I've worked with him before, but maybe we might jog his memory and see if he remembers one or two of those things. But really delighted to have on board our next guest. Who is it?
Our next guest. So, I haven't worked with him before, but he is a dear friend, and I've watched him grow and the band grow, and it's utter pride to see that they are about to release music. This is Nylon Primate. Hello, good sir. How are we?
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Such a privilege. When we started this project, I was like, I'd really like something from Sounds Phonetic. Can we and Sean was like, that's a brilliant idea. Can we do something? And then we reached out to you and you were like, yeah, I'd love to send you a beat. And I was like, well, beats from HipHop outfits are electronic music, so let's move in that direction and just see what happens. And I think what we created with your work is actually incredibly beautiful, and it's super exciting. So you are about to drop one of the biggest albums I think the Southeast will have seen in a very, very long time. Nakatomi is either out or about to be out, because we don't know when we're going to be releasing this video, so let's keep it fluid.
Vague enough, yeah.
Well, look, I've been looking forward to what you guys are going to drop next. You know what I mean? I've been watching, following, fangirling for years now. Do you know what I mean? And ever so proud of all of you. Like that last time we interviewed, I was still only buzzing about how proud and amazing you are. Anytime you mention your name around, it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, those boys are deadly. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So Nakatomi is imminently on its way. The 15th of September is the date that we've set. This is Sounds Phonetic we're talking about, not Nylon Primate.
Yeah.
This is the date that we've set, and we're hoping it will drop on the 15th. Fingers crossed. It's all done. Everything's done except one tiny little thing that is out of my control. So I have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, well, look, I think timing is something none of us have control over, and we should always expect the unexpected. In these situations, because there's so many things that are completely out of our control, and the perfect timing will happen, and I'm sure it will drop, and when it drops, we're all going to be like, Jaws.
I hope so. And you will. It's true. Thanks. Yeah, I think
No. I will. The last few singles have been insanely good. Every time I listen to them, I'm like, oh my God, it's old school, but it's new. It's fresh on what they used to do, but it's still really, really resonant with who they are. The lyrics are amazing, and everyone has their own way of spitting out lyrics. Even though you're all poetic, but it's all poetic in its own, right way. You know what I mean? It's fantastic what you guys do.
I do think it's our. I know everyone says this is a proper cliche, but I do think it's our best work. We wanted to put something out that we can sort of walk away from and be happy with. Potentially walk away from. We're not fully decided on what we're going to do after this, but we'll always be making music. But Sounds Phonetic might be Sounds Phonetic tracks might be like gold dust after this. We'll see.
And that's okay, because you'd always be day ones as the track goes.
Absolutely, yeah. We left a legacy,
Exactly. And there's loads of rising stars around us as well that are doing incredible work in the hip-hop scene and in the Waterford scene. For instance, you made a beat for Cal Pacino recently.
I did, yes.
And that's an incredible track, and it really, really fits what he was doing. So I think that's amazing. There's loads of other hip hop outfits that are starting to emerge in Waterford as well, which I'm just like blown away by.
Yeah. There's some nice stuff. Some young cats sort of emerging out of the. Well, actually, a lot of them have been there for a while, but they're only sort of starting to release stuff now. Do you know? But that's always the best way to do it, because if you start throwing the junk out first, it's just you're swimming through mountains of crap trying to get to the good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we talked about in our interview as well, as when I asked what you would recommend, that was actually one of your words of wisdom was wait till you have the good stuff, leave that out. Practice your craft and then release the beast.
Hours, yeah.
So that's amazing. So today we are going to, or tomorrow we're going to release your track or your beats that you made for us, which is a huge honor and we're very grateful. So it's Nylon Primate's release, and it is called Early Hours. Now, you sent us a few tracks, and that honestly was my favourite, and then it was Sean's favourite, so I was like, okay, this is going to work on the project. And then Sean created an artscape, which we're calling Bubble Machine, which works really, really well with the track. So,
yeah, the bubbles are awesome. I love it. I love the video. The video is cool. Great job, Sean. I love what you're doing, man. It's awesome, man.
Thanks very much.
Honestly, also this whole project thing. But the sand art itself is amazing, and but the fact that you're incorporating musicians into it and stuff, it's just super cool. It's a very you thing to do. Well done.
But it's kind of still very much kind of a work in progress. Like it is experimental, because it's kind of like, I mean, some of the artists we've worked with have never heard of sand art or seen it before. It's kind of like suddenly like two genres at the opposite ends of the scale of the art world. Is kind of like electronic music or hip hop and that, all those different genres of music. And then you put sand art, a visual art form that's temporary. You bring the two of those together. Everyone's kind of like, how's that going to work? So it is experimental, but it's very it really from my point of view, it's very I'm learning so much. I'm editing the videos as well, so I'm learning like a lot of skills in terms of like, in some of the earlier videos, I was very much like, how do you do that thing where the whole screen goes inside out and flaps out? Some of what you see in the music videos and stuff. And I suppose I've been learning all these different techniques, but I suppose and indeed a lot of my earlier videos before this would be more kind of like spiritual music and real earthy kind of music. But I wanted to kind of move away from that and try and bring some modern, more contemporary electronic stuff to it. But I'm actually finding that with my editing now, I'm actually reducing the effects I have to do. In fact, the video that we've made for your track, it's a very, very simple output. Like the Bubble Machine, it was 6, 7, 8 of us worked on it. And it like, I didn't want to film it in a kind of I wanted your music to stand independent as well as the visuals in terms of what you see. So I didn't want to be distracting it with all these things that have to flash in and out or be inverted or stuff like that. So yeah, we had our little private world premiere, the three of us, just before we went live there with this. So but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I think it's a nice, soft, simple, gentle piece. And for me, the real challenge was just that as we were saying earlier, privately, at 39 seconds, there's a point where the trumpet comes in and the chaos begins in your track. And that for me, I just wanted to kind of like a false sense of relaxation, where you see the 8 of us doing the footing, is what it's called, with our feet, just marking out, cleaning up the edges with our feet. And then suddenly there's that kind of uplifting track, not overly chaotic visual, but just wanted to kind of lift it up from that and then just showcase the artwork at that point. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, great job. I think it worked well. Well done.
Thanks a million.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's wonderful as well. It's great as well to be able to throw this back to Waterford, because that's kind of the thing for me. It's like, how many Waterford artists can we feature? And then it turns out that we ended up featuring artists from all over, from LA, Norway. It's just been crazy. So it's great to have you on board, and I love the track. I think it's amazing. In the creation process for the track, what kind of went through your mind? Do you remember?
When I'm making music, it's not really. I just sort of, it depends. I suppose it depends on what I'm sitting down to make. If I'm sitting down to make some Sons phonetic, so it's some hip hop sort of stuff, I might be in a sort of boom bappy sort of mood, you know. I tend to start all tunes with drums, all songs with drums. Drums are
Driving
the
force.
backbone. Yeah, I mean the real backbone. I mean drums and bass are my favorite things in the world. And then when you get the drums right and you get the bass right, in my opinion, you can throw anything you want on it as long as they're right. You can use any other sound you want. You know, you can sprinkle it with whatever you want. But to me, that's the most important things. Now, um, on when you start making a track, your samples and your keys and your synth start sort of evolving over that, and that might be the part that takes the average person or just the average listener. That might be the part that takes them away, and they're floating on that cloud. Whereas for me, it really is the drums and the bass. That's it. That's the bottom line. They got to be good. If they're not good, then it's not good to me. You know.
I would agree. They're also my favorite elements in a song as well. That's why
Yeah.
I used to be a bass player and probably should have been a drummer, but didn't happen. Do you know?
There you go.
And Mook, is that a trumpet? Is it a real trumpet or electronic trumpet, or is that a trumpet in the track?
No, I found a sample and cut up a sample. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
because for me,
I believe the guitar was played. I believe I played the guitar. Well, I didn't play it. I think Alex played the guitar. I got Alex to play the guitar. And there are several samples from different songs mixed in within it. And then there's a few synth leads, and then there's the bass. In fact, part of the bass is the tone of a sample, which I just retuned to give it that sort of texture. So yeah, there's lots of textures, lots of stuff in there. And then you'll hear over the tune, I went a bit crazy with some of the effects, just where it goes, it does all mad stuff. I like to go bananas sometimes, I feel like, you throw the kitchen sink at it and then start and then pull back, there's no harm in throwing everything. And then, because it essentially every tune that I make, if you hear it before it comes out, it's completely usually they're just insane. Some of them are inaudible, and then it's a matter of pulling everything back until you hit that sweet spot. That's what I like to do, just throw everything at it.
I suppose for me, the part of it that really resonated with me was that trumpet sound.
Yeah.
Because like with the it kind of gives a kind of a spaciousness that I tried to replicate with the way I edited it. That it was kind of like it's this, air being blown through a tube, or a brass tube, out into the atmosphere in a spacious kind of way. So, yeah. So I kind of just, that's why again I kind of want to just give it space to hear that sound without just being trying to be epic or anything with the video. It's just short and sweet and simple, little moves, and just allow itself a bit of space.
Yeah, well done. It worked.
Yeah, no, it worked really, really well. I love the way the two merged together so well, and I'm so grateful for both of you for the collaboration and the privilege of being, chapter 9 of this incredible project. Mook, is there anything you'd like to add? Is there any other projects you're working on that you want to shout out to? Like, obviously, both of us are loving watching the Nylon Primate videos with your kids because they're just so heartwarming. Like, honestly, like, it is food for the soul. But anything in your own world that you want to talk about?
Well, to be honest with you, my whole world is wrapped up. No, actually, that's not true. It has been. My whole world has been wrapped up by the Sons Phonetic album, which is 99.9% done now. It's mostly mixed and mostly mastered. So I've been telling people no for a long time, saying, no, I just can't until this is done. So, but alongside that, I have been working with Mouse. Mouse has got a huge amount of work on the horizon. Like I've got just a stack of music from him. I believe he's releasing like 3 albums or something crazy like that, So I will be doing one of them with him. Well, I'll be doing all of them. I'm recording all of them and mixing and mastering all that stuff. But one of them will feature mostly my production. So that is what I'm moving on to next. And then Cav also wants, he's going to be doing an EP. We haven't actually started that yet. He's probably started writing, but we haven't started recording. But I've been trying to sort of, you know, hold off on everything just because, you know, I'm stirring too many pots here, you know. But I never stop making music. I'm always making music. So, you know, every night I'm making some kind of sound of some sort. But in terms of Nylon Primate, I think after I'm finished with Mouse's albums, I will be doing another project myself. Yes.
Wow. You're definitely a very prolific creator. That's something that I've always known about you, whether it's in filmmaking or anything. Oh, what's going on with Sean? Oh, Sean.
Sorry, that was the track. That was the film. I pressed the wrong button.
Yes, so you're definitely a very...
Moving on.
That's not what it sounds like. Oops. You're definitely a very prolific creator, and I've always admired that about you, whether it's in filmmaking or everything that you've ever done. So keep that up and keep shining wherever way it may bring you. Best of luck with Nakatomi.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And thank you again for your collaboration. So this has been Supersonic Sand, Chapter 9. Join us tomorrow for the Artscape at 8 p.m. over on the Art Hands socials.
Thanks a million, Mook.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate it.
Cheers.